You know, I would imagine that it was not anything like they had thought that it would be. In just a few short days, the disciples and so many others' lives were completely turned upside down. And on this very first ever Easter or Resurrection Sunday, that evening, the disciples weren't out and about in their normal routines. No, they were behind closed doors that were locked. They were afraid. They were anxious, maybe even a little frustrated. Maybe they were confused. But I would say more than anything, they were grieving. This is not what they are used to. This is not what they expected. When all of a sudden, Jesus comes right in the middle of their room and he says, "Peace be with you." And he shows them his nail-scarred hands and the scar on his side where he was jabbed with a spear to show that he really did die. And he spends time with them. For all of us tomorrow, Easter looks completely different than anything that we're used to. In maybe a month or so, our world, our lives have really been upended and just turned upside down. Tomorrow, we're going to be isolated as well. Tomorrow, we're feeling anxious and afraid. We feel confused and concerned. But more than anything, we're grieving over what once was. And in the same way that Jesus came and met the disciples right where they were, I want you to know tomorrow that Jesus wants to meet us right where we are. That there are no closed doors that can stop him from coming into our open homes and our open hearts tomorrow. That he can speak peace to every one of us tomorrow. That his peace could be with us and we can have peace with God. Because long ago on the cross, he said, "It is finished." And while we might be isolated and feel alone or whatever that emotion might be for us tomorrow, he can say, "I'm right here with you. I've given you my spirit," because long ago on the cross, he said, my God, why have you forsaken me?" That he experienced isolation on the cross so that even in our moments of isolation, we are never alone. And we can get a fresh vision of who he is. We can see and recognize him by his wounds of love so that when the door opens up again, and it will open up again, it did for the disciples and the world was never the same. Imagine the possibilities of what God would want to do in us on this Easter, on this Resurrection Sunday, that could set the stage for our lives with him moving forward. I hope that you encounter the risen Christ tomorrow. I hope that you invite him, and not just into your home or your place where you are, but you invite him into your heart. And remember that you are loved.